I'm here with Dave Roman and Raina Telgemeier, and I'm going to ask you guys the 6 questions that we ask all comic book creators.
Okay.
Number 1 is, how did you get started working in comics?
I got started working in comics because I was going to school for illustration. I went to the School of Visual Arts here in New York City, and I was studying to be an illustrator, but I also wanted to take cartooning classes. So in the cartooning classes, I was making mini comics for my projects. I would do short stories, and then I would self-publish them as mini comics. By the time I graduated, I had a couple of issues of a mini comic, and then started taking them to conventions and going to parties and meeting people, and it was not that long before I met the folks at Scholastic, and just based on my mini comics work, they asked if I'd like to work with them.
Cool.
I also went to the School of Visual Arts, but I started self-publishing my own comics in high school, and then all through college I was self-publishing and going to comic conventions and meeting people. And by the time I graduated at the School of Visual Arts, I got a full-time job at Nickelodeon Magazine where I was a comics editor and met even more cartoonists and more artists. So I was always just making comics since I was pretty young.
All right. So question number 2 is, did you read comics when you were a kid, and if so, what were your influences back then?
Yes, I did. And my favorite comic strips when I was growing up were Calvin and Hobbes, for better or for worse, and then Foxtrot, Bizarro by Dan Ferraro, Luann by Greg Evans. A couple of, I grew up in San Francisco, and the San Francisco Chronicle was notorious for only having about 10 comic strips on their page. Comics, some newspapers carry a lot more, but mine did not. So anything that was available to me, I read. And then I got into indie comics when I was a teenager. One of my favorite comic artists was Linda Berry when I was in middle school. So those were basically my YA comics when I was growing up.
The first comics I read were licensed comics, so like Transformers, G.I. Joe, the Disney comics, and discovered Sergio Aragonés, who did a comic series called Gru, and that was like really exciting to me. And sort of embarrassingly, I was really into Image Comics when Image started, because it was really exciting that these former big superhero artists were forming their own company, doing their own works, creating their own characters, and I was really inspired by that. And a lot of my friends in high school were sort of inspired by just the creative flux of just, they could just come up with whatever they wanted to and just make it. And so we just started making our own stories and making our own comics.
All right. So the next question is, what are you currently working on?
I'm currently working on a graphic novel about kids that put on plays at their school. So like the stage crew kids and the drama kids, they are putting on a play. And that'll be out in 2012, theoretically. No title yet.
And I have a book coming out First Second called Astronaut Academy, which will be published in June of 2011, and I'm currently writing the second volume so that there's not too long of a gap between the 2 volumes.
All right. The next one is, what is the graphic novel or comics title that you read in the last year that you think is fantastic for kids?
Last year I read... That's a on the spot question. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, you guys have been kind of busy.
We just read Zeta the Space Girl, which is by Ben Hackey, who is in flight, and it's published by First Second Books.
It'll be out next year, actually. So I read that too. That was really good. I also read The Unsinkable Walker Bean, which I really enjoyed. And
didn't he also do Spiral Bound?
Yes. Spiral Bound is my favorite kids graphic novel of all time.
Really?
Or at least of recent times.
All right, a plug for Spiral Bound then, and that's from Top Shelf.
That's from Top Shelf.
All right, cool. All right, the next question, and this is also kind of a ringer, is if you were stuck on a desert island with only one book, and this can be prose, graphic novel, any book at all, what book would that be?
Maybe that giant collected Calvin and Hobbes volume.
All 3 volumes?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll count that. It comes in a box.
So I can read those over and over and over again and never get tired of them.
Yeah.
That's a really good one, because I would have said Something Under the Bed is Drooling, which was the second volume of Calvin and Hobbes. I believe that's the one where he Crisco's his hair.
Yes.
I could read that one over and over again. But since if we're stuck together and she's already got that, I would probably bring the first Peanuts collection, the Fantagraphics, the first
Yeah, the big giant one.
Yeah.
Very good. And the last question is, what advice do you have for young comics creators?
Well, draw all the time. Don't worry about the way that other people draw. Just worry about making yourself happy and getting your stuff out there, sharing it with as many people as possible. Don't hoard your stuff, to yourself. Definitely share it with friends. Put it on the internet. Go to comic conventions. Give it away. The key is just to meet people and get your stuff out there.
Cool.
My advice is to try drawing and writing short stories, because I know a lot of people who want to tell really long, really epic, really exciting volumes worth of stories, but if you tell them to do a one-pager, they don't know where to begin. So it's a great way to practice to write and draw really short, 1 page, 2 pages, 10 pages. It's a great way to get your feet wet and just practice drawing and writing.
All right. Thank you guys both very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.